Hello, my name is Sarah Cover and I'm one of the program managers with Heart Math Tutoring. Today I'm going to show you how to play an activity from our place value and multi-digit addition and subtraction notebook called Adding and Subtracting on the Number Line. And in this activity we're going to practice adding and subtracting three-digit numbers using the underlying structure of hundreds, tens, and ones. Now for this activity you will need a pencil or a pen as well as several sheets of paper. So please pause the video to gather your materials and I'll meet you back here.
Welcome back. We're now going to practice using the number line to add and subtract. So since this game is from our place value and multi-digit addition and subtraction notebook, I want to think about using strategies that show I understand the numbers I'm working with when adding and subtracting them. One strategy that is helpful to use is the open number line, and that's what we'll be practicing today. So even if you know how to use the algorithm of stacking numbers and borrowing or carrying, we want to make sure that you're an expert and that you understand the value of numbers, and so it can show us that second way to add or subtract using the number line. So let's get started. All right, I'm going to use a subtraction problem, and I'm going to do 265 minus 139. And I'm going to solve it by subtracting back on the number line. So I need to draw my number line, nice open number line. And so the way the number line works is that as you move from left to right, the numbers will get larger, and then from right to left, the numbers will get smaller. And so since we are subtracting, we're going to be jumping backwards this way. And so it also means my starting point will be over here for 265, and then I'll be subtracting 139. And now, using the number line, what I want to do are to make jumps, and you can use any jumps you want, but the ones that make sense to me are jumps that are as large as possible, but then are also easy to subtract. And easy numbers are those that are going to be full hundreds or full tens, so round numbers. And we call those friendly numbers just because they are easier to use. And so looking at 139, the first friendly number I want to take away is this 100. So it's a nice big jump, it's very easy to subtract, and it's a nice even number. So 265 minus 100 is 165. And again, thinking about those larger jumps and friendly numbers, I'm now going to take away 30. So 165 minus 30 will be 135. And so now I just have my 9 ones that I need to take away. And so 135 minus 9 is a little more difficult. So now I want to think about landing on a friendly number, or landing on a number that ends in a 0, so a full 10. And so the closest friendly number to 135 is 130. And so to get here, I need to take away 5. And so it means I've taken away 5 ones, and so now I need to remove the remainder. And so since I know my combinations to 9, I know that the other part that's missing here is 4. So that's my last jump, is minus 4. So 130 minus 4 is 126. So I know that 265 minus 139 equals 126. And I solved it by subtracting back on the number line. But now I want to think about this problem in a different way, because sometimes subtracting back can be difficult. So what if I can make this into an addition problem? Because adding up is a lot easier to do, just like running forwards is a lot easier than running backwards. So let's try that. So I still have 265 minus 139. But now I think, what if I can make this into an addition problem? And how would that look? So I'm going to think about this problem in the same way I would think about a smaller number, and I want to create a fact family. So I want to create a part-part whole. And so I know this is my larger number, so this will be at the top. 265 is the whole. 139 is one of the parts, and so this other part is what we're trying to solve for. And so this subtraction problem is 265 minus 139 equals something. But that also means that 139 plus something, plus this part, equals 265. And that's how I can create my addition problem. So 139 plus something equals 265. And now I can use the number line to add. So I'm going to create my number line. And since I'm adding, I'm going to be making jumps towards the right, since my numbers will be getting larger. And I'm going to start with my part right here, 139. But I want to use that same method of making large jumps using friendly numbers, using those round numbers. And so the first jump I'm going to make is plus 100. It's a nice large number, and it'll get me close to what I want my final number to be. So 139 plus 100 is 239. So close, but I'm not there yet. But again, I want to think about always being on those nice round numbers, and so I want to land this on an easier number, because 239 can be tricky to add to. So if I think a nice round number close is 240, so to get to there I would have to add 1. So now this will be much easier to add to in order to get to my 265. So I'm going to make another jump that involves a nice friendly number of 20. So it'll be at 260. And then I just have to add 5 more to land at 265, my final answer. Now the final step when adding on the number line is to add all your jumps together. So I have 20 plus 5, which is 25, plus 1, which is 26, plus 100, which is 126. And so that means that 139 plus 126 equals 265. It also means that 265 minus 139 equals 126. And these both work because 126 is my missing part for my number line. And so now I'm going to show you some problems so you can practice with adding and subtracting on the number line. And you can either, for your subtraction problems, you can subtract back like I did first here, or you can change it into an addition problem like we did here. And for the addition problems, of course, you'll just be adding on the number line. And so I've given you a few problems, or you can use the Google number generator to create 2 3-digit numbers for you to add and subtract, and that way you can create your own problems. So you go ahead and work on those problems, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how I worked on some of mine. Welcome back. I hope you had some good practice adding and subtracting using a number line. Feel free to check your work in a different way. I've highlighted my answers here in orange, but I'll also post them on the screen here so you can check your work. So for our first problem, 423 minus 115, I decided to turn this one into an addition problem because I thought it would be easier for me to solve that way. And here are the jumps I chose to make, using my nice friendly numbers and then landing on a friendly number when possible. Are these jumps similar or different from the ones you made when you solved for this problem? For the second problem, 761 minus 668, I decided to solve this one by subtracting back because I thought the jumps I would make would be large enough that it would be easy for me to do. Did you solve this problem by subtracting back, or did you change this problem into an addition problem to solve for subtraction? And then for the final two problems, for 580 minus 253, I again changed this one into an addition problem because I thought it would make my jumps easier to see. And then this is how I solved for 327 plus 158. And when I got to the ones, this is how I broke up 8, so I could land on that friendly number right here. You can practice using the number line strategy as much as you would like. All you have to do is make more problems. Remember, when you practice this activity, for subtraction, you can either add up to subtract, or you can subtract back. If someone is nearby, practice explaining your strategy out loud which you solve for your answer in order to share your great thinking. Thank you for following along. I hope you enjoy using number lines to subtract and add. If you have any questions or for additional support, please check out the resources page seen here.